This is Dr. Roger Elmer, Advanced Neurospinal Solutions, and as it's Ask the Doctor time, one of the questions I hear are, because we talk a lot about it here in this office, we're changing the structure of the body, the structure, we're structural correction specialists here. What is structural model? What are you talking about? Why is it so important to understand? Well, if you don't understand what's going on, you probably can't help. Like I say in here all the time, the closer you get to the truth, the simpler the solution. Usually it just lays itself out in front of us once we know what the problem really is. Well, this is the structural model. I designed it to make it clear what we have to change in order to truly make a change in your posture, in your structural system. First thing is, down here on the left is the white tissue. The white tissue doesn't have much blood. It's discs, ligaments, fascia, fiber, tendons. It's all of the fibrous stuff, the fascia and sheets and all of that stuff that actually makes you pretty tough. It is a coiled protein. That coiled protein, it has a springiness to it, and some resilience to it. And if you tear it, we call that whiplash, acceleration-deceleration injury. So, but that whiplash effect tears the tissue, and only God fixes that, and I'm not him. So, but we want to take those white fibers and unwind them like orthodontists do, right? We want to unwind them slowly over time. And as we do that, they change their shape uniformly, but maintain their ability and function, and they don't distract from other things that bad things that could happen with damage to that tissue. Permanent plastic deformation. Permanent plastic deformation creates instability of the joint. When that happens, it desensitizes the joint, according to Spine 1999. The paper won the Volvo Award, by the way, and it creates basically a deadening of the nervous system that goes up to the brainstem and cerebellum, and then it comes down and has a reflex to protect that area in case of a problem. But because now it's deadened in that area, we've lost the reflex. That's bad. And so I never want to do it harshly. I want to unravel it evenly so I don't create that kind of a problem. And we're going to have to change the shape of these things, including the discs. Imagine if some of these discs have really been smashed down over time, we got to open them up. And we're going to go through understanding more clearly about the disc in one of our other videos. But we got to open it up, and we got to make it bigger in the front than it is in the back, but we'll go through that. Okay? So that's white tissue, and it's orthodontics. Then there's red tissue. Red tissue has blood. It's muscles, but it's not the kind of muscles that you work out at the gym, the physical therapist, the physiatrist, the chiropractor who gives you exercises. These are involuntary muscle fibers. They do the opposite of what the voluntary muscles do. The bicep is a flexor. It's a flexor of the elbow, but you have little muscles in your elbow here that tighten it down. We call those anti-flexors. They do the opposite. You put your head back like this, and as you put your head back, that's cervical extension. But if I take a head weight and put it on your forehead, and without you even knowing it, it's pulling you forward, so you pull back against it, you're tightening and shortening the anti-flexor muscles, the paraspinal muscles, and they get shorter, change their tone, and the nerves are going to learn, and the muscles are going to learn how to hold you in that new posture, usually utilizing that weight twice a day for 20 minutes. Then we've got the nervous system that has to change, and we're not using the brain, the pyramidal nervous system. We're using the brainstem, cerebellum, and extrapyramidal nervous system. And that's the brain that thinks you. You don't think it. You put the weight on, and you don't even realize that it changed. And we fit that weight with x-ray. We take an x-ray very accurately, and then we take an x-ray with the weight on and see if it'll make your posture even better. And we have other weights that we use too. So, but we're going to cause the nervous system to respond to that weight, and that's going to become the therapy. And so changing all three of those things over time brings you closer and closer and closer to the posture that you should be in. And that is got an example. If you look real carefully here, this sacrum is tilted 8 degrees. Oops. That tilt of 8 degrees here is causing this mild scoliosis here. Okay? And so it's tilted like this. And so what we did, because it was a sacral tilt, we dealt with it like a low shoulder, and a woman puts a purse on that shoulder and she doesn't even realize she lifts up against it. So we put a weight in the front and a weight in the back, hung that over the hip, and this is the next day. This is the next day with the weight on, and it went from 8 degrees to 0 degrees, and she straightened herself up. That's the kind of work that we're talking about. And the question, the comment would be, well, that's not going to last. And I say, you're right. It's not going to last. But we know it's going to work. And because it's going to work, and because it's going to work involuntarily, that patient can do that exercises 20 minutes twice a day, and in 4 months we retook those x-rays and she looked like that without the weights on. That's how we make those changes. And so the structural model teaches us what's wrong posturally. We have what is normal, and then teaches us how do we address the three tissues, and so then we can come out with an outcome where when we release the patient will take care of themselves for the rest of their lives. I hope that answers the question on a structural model, and if you have any questions, please go ahead, feel free to ask, and we'll happy to do more videos for you. And remember, at Advanced Neurospinal Solutions, we're here when you're ready to take your life back.